Your credit score is more than just a number. It's a reflection of your financial life. But what if I told you that your credit score is not as accurate as you think and is flawed deeply? Let's dive into why the credit score system is flawed in India and how you can hack it to your advantage. So credit score helps financial institutions and banks determine the creditworthiness of its borrowers. So it helps banks determine if you're eligible for 20,000 of loan, 25,000 of loan, 1 lakh of loan, 1 crore of loan, whatever. So it helps banks and institutions mitigate their risk. Isse they get to know if you're able to pay back the money or not. And that's how they manage their risks. So let's move on to the flaws of the credit system because that's what you're here for. So my first problem with the scoring system is that it's a one-size-fits-all approach. And it's a standardized model that treats everyone the same regardless of their financial situation. And the true harsh reality is that everyone's financial situation is not at all the same. So people with unconventional incomes like freelancers, gig economy workers, businessmen have difficulties building up their credit score because they're unable to build a good credit history as the credit scores don't account for non-traditional forms of income. Chalo, let me give you an example. So there's a salaried person jiska 20,000 maybe salary ho. He might have a better credit score than a businessman, a freelance worker jiska average income approximately 50,000 ke aaspas ho. That's because they're getting regular paychecks and credit scores like regular fixed income. Another problem I have with the credit scoring system is bias on credit utilization. The system places too much emphasis through credit cards or anything else. And if you use more than 30, 40, at max 50% of your credit limit, it penalizes you for that. For example, if you have a limit of 1 lakh rupees and you go ahead spend like 80k on a phone, jaake tum latest iPhone utha lao, that results in a penalty in your score because banks do not like you utilizing a lot of your credit limit. So someone who might be using 90% of their credit limit to manage cash and even paying it on time might be penalized for that. Another problem I have is no credit history for young people. Young people, students or people who are new to the credit world are at a disadvantage. And couple that with my first example. कोई नया बंदा आता है, gets into a freelance/business thing, उनके तो वारे नहीं आ रहे हैं. First credit card भूल जाओ. So a recent graduate who got a well-paying job, say like 2 lakh rupees a month, yes it happens. हो सकता है they do not get qualified for a home loan or a personal loan or whatever. Might not even get qualified for a credit card. So that's because they do not have a history. So first they have to build up a history from a small credit card and it takes a lot of time for them to get here where they're qualified for the home loan and stuff. Also another problem I face with the credit scoring system is that they do not capture the nuances of the financial habits of people, like paying bills on time. It rewards you for paying back your credit on time, say credit cards, EMIs and stuff, but imagine you pay your electricity bill on time every month, your water bill, your phone bill. So these habits should account for something in my opinion, as they tell a lot about a person. So let's try to gauge what impact a poor score can have on a person. A person might get higher interest rates or complete rejection on a card or a loan. And for job offers, some employees do a background check where they check out the credit score, especially for senior management level and stuff. So it's very important there. And some insurance companies also charge a higher premium if your credit score is bad. So firstly, start building out your credit early, but smartly of course. So if you're eligible, get a small credit card for a limit of say 20,000, 30,000, 10,000 even. And if you cannot get that card, go to your bank and ask for a FD backed credit card. What happens is you take some amount of money, put it in an FD, and the bank gives you the same limit in credit card. You can use that money to spend and pay back your bills on time, and that helps you build a credit score. So put up your regular expenses on that card, say groceries, electricity bill, whatever you're spending already should go on that card and pay it back on time. My advice is do the expense, do not spend more than 20-30% of your utilization. So example, if you have a limit of 10,000, spend 20-25,000 at max. When that expense gets reflected, pay it back immediately and then continue forward with your other bills. That will help you build a credit score very fast. Hack number 2, keep your credit utilization rate below 30%. So for example, if you have a limit of say 50,000 rupees, do not use more than 15,000 rupees on that card at a particular time. And if you want to utilize more than that, there are 3 options for you. First, pay back the bill and then utilize more. Second, call up your bank and ask for a higher limit. If you are eligible, they'll increase your limit, and if not, you can go for the third option, get more credit cards. If you have 2 cards and say both are at 50,000, you can utilize 15 here, 15 here. That makes your total available utilization limit at 30,000. Let's move on to hack number 3, automate your payments. Hack number 3 is automate your payment. By setting up autopay, you will never miss out on your deadline. तो फिर क्या करना है? You have your credit card over here. उसका एक लिमिट है. You call up your bank, set up autopay, and it gets paid before the deadline. That way, delayed payments never get reported to the bureau, and your credit score stays intact. Also helps increase over time. Point number 4: make rent payments work for you. These services report your rent payments to the credit bureaus. For example, you make your home rent payment through credit. They take that information, report it to the bureau, and that gets reflected in your credit score. So even if you don't have a loan or a credit card, you can use these services to increase your credit score. Point number 5 is to check your credit score regularly. You are entitled to one check every year by each and every bureau. So use that, check your score और देखो वहाँ पे कोई discrepancies तो नहीं arise होती. And if they do arise, report them immediately because they impact your score for a long time and बहुत ज़्यादा. So ऐसी कोई discrepancy आती है, report them immediately, get it resolved and see your credit score shoot up high as. So these are the hacks you can use for the current system, but let me tell you about some additional information. So there are some alternatives to the traditional scoring system जिनके बारे में मैं तुम्हें अभी बताने वाला हूँ. So companies like Zest Money and Rupeek are using technology to build better scoring systems. They are leveraging alternate data such as phone payment history, social connections, and digital transactions to assess your credit history. These models are more inclusive and can help people with bad credit scores. आजकल inclusiveness का ज़माना है. There are also peer-to-peer lending platforms like Faircent and Lendbox that do not solely rely on the traditional system but also use data like income, social standing, and social behavior. So now you know the credit system is flawed and how you can hack it. And जो लोग credit bureaus से देख रहे हैं, मेरे को माफ करो और जो बाद वाली advices दी हैं उनको implement करो यार. And if you're stuck with a low score, you now know how to hack it and improve your score. जिससे you can avail cheaper interest rates and get higher limit. अपने उस दोस्त के साथ ये वीडियो शेयर करो जो आपसे लोन मांगता रहता है. उसको बोलो साले अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर बढ़ा ले. See you, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Bye.